Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
Dhanvat Pranam, Prabhuji. I hope everything is going well, Prabhuji.
यस प्रभु जी, कृष्णाज मर्सी। आप कैसे हैं?
हरे कृष्ण। बहुत अच्छे प्रभु, कृपा है प्रभु की। सब अच्छा चल रहा है यहाँ पे भी। वेरी नाइस। मैंने लेटर रियलाइज किया कि मैं म्यूट पे ही था,
हाँ हाँ।
बट नाइस। सर चलिए हम सेशन शुरू करते हैं। एंड आई थिंक खाना तो आज शायद नहीं आएंगे, वो बाहर है। लेट्स होप rest of the devotees will join soon. And we
हरे कृष्ण
have
प्रभु जी।
Mataji with us.
हरे
Hare
कृष्णा,
Krishna.
हरे
Dhanvat
कृष्णा।
Pranam.
दंड प्रणाम जी प्रभु जी।
Hare,
हरे
Hare, Hare. So we were playing Radha Madhav from Srila Prabhupada ji in the background. I will just share that if in case anyone would like to have it. Just listen to this in the background whenever you feel low. It's great to hear Prabhupada ji's voice. Hare Krishna.
हरे
So let's get started. I welcome everyone in today's Shri Isopanisad session. So this is based on the commentary given by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And let's do Mangalacharan and then we shall resume to our session. Om. अज्ञानातिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवै नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवं च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथवितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सवादूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखावितं च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांत नमस्ते। ताप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। शिल प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय
गुरुदेव महाराज की जय। जय श्री राधे। हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, हरे कृष्णा,
हरे
दंडवत प्रणाम्स।
हरे। So good to have you all. And let's resume to our Shri Shuknit sessions. So moving from Om Purnamada Purnamidam. So Krishna is Purn. We have emanated from Krishna. We are Purn to Ishavasyam concept. And then getting forward where we said that we are going to see the Ishwar could not be understood by material vision. We need the spiritual vision, which is provided by Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Then we had right and wrong Vidya, the knowledge, the understanding, and how they go along hand in hand. Number 9, 10, 11. So we could not have knowledge about everything, and this is true for the material world as well. The physics professor will not be able to know about chemistry, hence so forth. Similarly, the devotees will consciously make the decision to have the knowledge about Krishna, because that is the absolute truth rather than relative truth, which changes now and then, which is the material. So one of the major difference between spiritual and material is spiritual never changes, and material in Mamupetya Punarjanma Dukh Alyam Ashashvatam. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, verse 19. Sorry, verse 15, 8:15. Krishna said to Arjun that Arjun, this material world is dukhalyam and is ashashvatam. So everything in material world is ashashvatam. Shashvatam is eternal. Ashashvatam is negate, not, it's temporary. So this occult studies, the Vedic Shastras, the wisdom, the knowledge was there 5,005 years back. It's there now. It will always remain true. But everything else in material world will disappear. So whether we talk about sports, whether we talk about the movies, whether we talk about the players who were great in these sports, there was a time, there is a time now for some, and there will be time for others, and it will keep changing. So that's the difference between material and spiritual. But right and wrong upasana, the worship, and that's what we completed based on that. Now we have moved on to mantra 15, which is the, once we know how to do the worship, now going forward, how we could do the prayers. And this is the beautiful way we are going to learn how to pray to Krishna. And that's the way we are going to realize the true nature, Satta Chitta Ananda. We are going to pray to Krishna, and we are going to enjoy itself. And this is why another difference in material and spiritual. In material, when we call ourselves servant, then whether we do service in the offices, we are considered as servant, we don't enjoy. But when we become a spiritual servant, then we enjoy. And all the parents, they serve their children. All the children, once they have grown up, they serve their elderly parents. And in that service, we have the personal realization that we would love to serve our kids and our parents. And this is still on the material level, but this is a level better, which we can understand. If you convert that into complete spiritual, then we can understand how much pleasure we can get just by serving Krishna, serving Krishna's devotees. And that's what we are trying to get when we are going to pray to Krishna. So this is mantra 14, which I did it before, but we have moved on to mantra 15. But I think I have a recording, so let's listen to that, which is available online as well. Hopefully you will be able to hear. You could recite together.
हिरण्मयेन पात्रेण सत्यस्यापि हितं मुखं तत्त्वं पोषन्न पावृणु सत्यधर्माय दृष्टये हिरण्मयेन पात्रेण सत्यस्यापि हितं मुखं तत्त्वं पोषन्न पावृणु सत्यधर्माय दृष्टये.
So this is the beautiful verse, and like many other verses in our Vedic Shastras, whether we call Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, or Shri Isopanisad. These verses, if we recite them every day, or one of those recordings we usually play, and they are freely available on YouTube, if you just let them go in the background, they are so nectarian. So what this says, "Oh my Lord, sustainer of all that lives." So it says Patrena and then Poshanam. So in Hindi also we call it Poshan. So Poshanam, the one who is a sustainer. Hence we know that we say Brahmaji being the originator, and then Shivji responsible for the destruction whenever the annihilation is required. Or Lord Vishnu, Krishna takes care of the sustainability. So Lord Krishna sustains the whole world. Your real face is covered by your dazzling effulgence. And we said this effulgence, so on the left-hand side, we can see this is spark. Or we said this is the Brahmjyoti. And if you remember the reference from Goloka chart we did. So from Brahmjyoti, we can't see the face of Krishna. It's like if you are in darkness and somebody will just bring a torch and just focus on our face, we can see the light, but that light is so dazzling, we can't see the face of the person who is holding the light. So from the body of Lord Krishna, Krishna is then Goloka Dham. From that, the light which is coming out is so dazzling. And when we say that Krishna, this is what the very first prayer. So mantra 15, 16, 17, 18, that's the end bit of Shri Upanishad. And that's where it's been said that, oh Krishna, we can't see this Brahmjyoti, this effulgence is also spiritual. But where Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi, which is chapter 13.9, that Krishna says that these four things will always be there. In Brahmjyoti, they won't be there because that's now the spiritual world. But still, devotees say, Krishna, we would like to see your face. So this is where many transcendental, they will be happy being impersonal, but devotees would like to get to the personal level where we can play along with the other devotees, we can serve other devotees, and we can be there with Krishna. And as you mentioned, the story of Gopa Kumar in the Shastras, who've been to all different places, he narrated everyone, but still he wasn't satisfied. He went to Vaikuntha as well. And of course, he went to Brahmaji, Shivlok first. But then at the end, when he went to Vaikuntha, he rushed towards Lord Vishnu. And everybody stopped him. That, well, he's a king. You can't just go. And Gopa Kumar said, well, he's my friend. He said, yeah, but not here. He's a king here. Right? And the same thing in Dwarka as well. When many from Vrindavan, when a lot of, first in Mathura and then later in Dwarka, when a lot of childhood friends, they went. So the soldiers, they didn't let the friends go to Krishna because Krishna is not in Vatsalya Bhava when he's there. So, of course, Krishna is the same, but there is so much duties he's engaged with. Hence, devotees. So Gopakumara didn't find a peace in Vaikuntha, even though everything was there. What we can't even imagine. But what we could imagine here, or guess, we think, we like, we desire in material world. Much, much, much more than that. Vaibhav is there in Vaikuntha, but Gopakumara wasn't content, and hence he proceeded further to Goloka. And that's where he met Krishna. He said, yes, you are that coward boy whom I was looking for. So this is the very first prayer which devotees make. And we have seen from Chaitanya Charan Prabhuji that how 15:16, take me beyond the white light of Supreme Force. So we will see the next verse as well, which is on the same theme. And then 17 and 18, take me through all the obstacles. So first time this, but then Krishna, anything. And Ratana Swamiji Maharaj, based in Mumbai, a Juhu temple, Maharaji Travels, Journey Home, book, and many other books Maharaji has written. And when somebody asks that one verse from all the Shastras, what did Maharaji said? There is a verse, and hopefully, Krishna willing, we will do in Nectar of Devotion as well, which says that nothing else, nothing, anya abhilashyata shunyam. There is nothing, anything else apart from Krishna, that desire becomes shunya. Nothing else I will desire, Krishna. This is the verse Maharaji said. So this is the essence what devotees are asking here, that nothing else we will desire for. And we had a brief look here that how Chaitanya Charan Prabhuji in the bracket, he has given the paragraphs. Paragraph 1, Bhushanam, like how Krishna is the basis of everything, including Brahman and Paramatma. We have seen the references of Bhagavatam, Ete Brahma, Brahman realization, Paramatma realization. Krishna is beyond that, the source, like the sun, who is the source of the radiations, whether the radiations on us, which is Brahman realization, radiation on everyone else, which is Paramatma realization, and then the sun, the Krishna himself, which is the Bhagwan realization. And then paragraph 2 to 5, Satya Dharmaya Veshtaya. Satya, which is absolute truth. Are we able to see that? This is what the devotees are praying. And then how the ultimate revelation. Again, doesn't really matter how much devotees will serve other devotees, how much study we do, and we will see various ways in Bhagavad Gita what Krishna has given to Arjun. Despite doing all, a devotee could never claim anything from Krishna. So it got to be revealed. It's got to be given. Like I was there in a Sangha yesterday, and somebody said, so when did you get your initiation? Then it just dawned on me, and I had to say that when did you take initiation? And I said, I didn't take. It was given to me. Like I couldn't do anything to take it. It was the mercy of the Guru who gave. And somebody else, because it's been a few years, so I've been out of touch, that what is the process for the initiation. But somebody said, when another devotee asked for the name of the Guru Maharaji, and when I mentioned, he said, well, it takes 10 years now to get Diksha from Maharaj. So, well, you could imagine that even all after that is the decision on Guru Maharaj. And I met someone else who said that I was in the queue of all those, and I've actually I've been there in Mayapur, where in Mayapur, Guru Maharaj has his office, and in the office, all the other devotees are there who check all the paperwork, interview, and check everything. And devotees all over the world, they queue up. They have done everything in the past, like for a few years, 3 to 5 years, they might be preparing. And they have reached there, they're queued up, and still right at the end, something might not work out, and they will not get initiated on that day. So, of course, some they get disappointed, but some they understand that this is not the right time. And Krishna willing, if the Guru's Kripa will be there, I will get it later. And this happens with many. So similarly, the bhakti itself is the revelation given by Krishna. So Krishna, devotees praying to Krishna that please reveal yourself. Hare Krishna. So we had a brief look of this. So we will see this a bit in detail today. Some of the references from Bhagavad Gita. And this is how the importance of, if you see the importance of the purports from devotees, from acharyas, that we can just go. And this is how a lot of people who don't understand, they just pick one verse and they say, well, this is impersonal. So there are many verses we have where it says, now Krishna is not close, Krishna is not far, Krishna doesn't have the absolute truth, doesn't have the feet, but cannot walk, but can run, does not have feet, but can run. So it's hard for us to understand that kind of language. But when Srila Prabhupadaji's acharyas, they explain with purpose. And not only that, the previous, for example, we have done Bhagavad Gita, but how and which verses are referred in this verse, those references are given, and the context has been given to us, so we understand a lot better. So what's been said, that how we could get that mercy from the Lord, how the effulgence. So a lot of devotees, they get into jnana, they get into yoga, and then they get those powers, maybe, and they get to Brahmjyoti, and now they know, like, we might have heard of a lot of sages, saints, sadhus, that they can do miracles. Apparently, they are miracles for us. Somebody could walk on the water, and we might remember in our living memory that there was a time, I don't remember how many years back, when a lot of again, I don't know whether in London it happened or in UK it happened, but in India, more or less everywhere in India, all the deities, especially Ganesh, had started drinking milk, and it was all over news. I don't know for how long it went, but for a few weeks, if not months. And then one particular incident happened in Juhu temple. The right at the entrance, then there is right on the top, Garun, because Garun is the vehicle of Lord Vishnu. Garun, and then for speciousness, Ganeshji's statue is also there. And those deities were there. So Maharaji came, Radhana Swamiji Maharaj, and some devotees, they had the ladders up and they went on the top. So Radhana Swamiji Maharaj asked Gauranga Prabhuji, who is in Govardhan Eco Village these days, that what's happening? What the devotees doing right on the top? And Prabhuji said that, well, you might have heard in the news that all over the place, Ganeshjis and all of the deities, they are drinking milk. So the devotees, they wanted to test our deities as well. And then Maharaji said, what are you saying? We give offering to, well, like in London, we say Radha Gokulan, and 5 times, 6 times, 7 times in a day. Don't we have faith that Krishna takes the bhog? Don't we have the faith? And that's the realization. That's the realization from Maharajji, the pure devotee, that devotees, they don't even need to test. They have that faith because the process has been going on for a long, long time. So, but a lot of those who get into this, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that don't test. If you want to test it. But of course, devotees, they just have the faith and the trust in the Lord anyways. But some of them, they get these powers and they just stuck in them. Hence, all the teachers, they recommend that these powers, they might get in the process, but please don't get stuck. Go beyond them. So, for example, so these ways are given in Bhagavad Gita from Krishna to Arjun. Sankhya Yoga has been explained, where and a lot of, if I may say, devotees, they do Sankhya studies. Sankhya is all about the matter, our body, how much in detail it's been explained, and we will see Bhagavad Gita as a reference today. Then it's all purely Sankhya. Sankhya is purely matter, all about the body, gross, and the subtle body as well. Of course, different people, they do different categorizations. But very important for us to understand, because this is our body. And if somebody explains our body, we need to understand that. However, remember, the body is just the means to the ends, which is that we need to keep the body healthy. We need to understand the body because the soul is there within. It's like a driver is more important than the car. Car gets broken, driver moves to a new car. And this is what we have, isn't it? We need to change the car, we change the car, we upgrade it, we get better. Similar thing devotees understand. So, for example, in chapter 2, 2.13, Dehinosmi yatha dehi komaram yovanam jara tata dehantara prapte dhirastatra namuyati. So what Krishna says that devotees understand that the body gonna go. It's like we change the clothes, like the season changes. So soul changes the body. There isn't anything we need to worry about it at all. So, and then, so this is 2.13, and then Krishna explains a lot of things, and right at the end, 2.20, chapter 2, verse 20. Na jayate mriyate va kadachit. And then right at the end, na hanyate mane. Hanya, like body, we cannot save the body, because body is going to hanyate hanyamane sharira. The body is going to go, but the soul, the first line of the verse 220, na jayate mriyate kadachit nayam bhutva bhavitavanam. The soul could not be cut by any weapon, could not be wet by the water. Nothing can happen to them. So if we remember, and that is the realization we need to do, right? But it starts from the Sankhya. If there is a covering, if we get a gift, if we get a present, we take the wrapper off. And that body is the wrapper, right? We need to understand the body. The only reason we want to understand it, because we want to go beyond it. And going beyond, Krishna says, it's a Gyan Yoga. That we have the absolute truth, we understand Krishna, but without potencies. And this is the Brahm Jyoti, which has been mentioned, that we have reached to the Jnana. So devotees are actually praying to Krishna. Krishna, if I get stuck into impersonal realization, then please take me beyond it, because I would like to see your face, right? I would like to see your face. I would like to be in Bhagwan association rather than Brahman association. However, that doesn't mean that anyone is condemning the Brahman realization or negating the effulgence. No, because some devotees sometimes misunderstand, and then they say that, or they understand or misunderstand, which is not the true realization. The true realization, what Prabhupada explains, that we need to go beyond it, right? It's like a student got 80%. So you won't say 80% is bad, but of course you will inspire students to go beyond 80%, to 85%, to 90%. 90% is not bad. 90% is great compared to 80%, but still you could reach to 100%. Similar thing here, Sankhya is good, but Jnana, so it starts from J, but it's Jnana. Jnana is better than Sankhya. But then Yoga, absolute truth, with only material potencies. And then it's a bit fine line between Jnana and Yoga, because through Yoga you can reach to Jnana. Through Jnana you could practice the Yoga. But Ashtang Yoga, which it starts, but reach right at the end to Samadhi, and then Samadhi would be the Jnana, because Jnanis, they get into Samadhis. So Yoga will start, and like we have the obviously Hatha Yoga, we take it as asanas, but we have the Pratyahara, we have pranayam, we have a dharana, we have a dhyana, and then so yam, niyam, it starts from yam, niyam, which is do's and don'ts. Do this, don't do this, yam and niyam. Then yam, niyam, asan, pratyahara, the food we eat, how do we need to maintain? And nectar of instruction will say the same thing. And then pranayam, control your breathing. And then get into dhyana, dharana. Dharana is like determination. And then dhyana, the meditation. Then get further, which is the samadhi. These are the 8 limbs of yoga. And if you will see, if you compare this to those 5 sheets, we did it a couple of weeks back. The body has 5 layers, and right at the end we have the Atma. We can understand very well that if we follow yam, niyam, asan, then we are slowly, gradually uncovering those layers. But right at the end, what Krishna says, and we will see some references today, that bhakti. If you do the bhakti, then all of them are covered. Another example, somebody said that we can get into, for example, in Dubai, we have the tallest building. I guess it's still the tallest, Burj Khalifa. And if you want to go into the top 470, I think 420 levels, and then if you want, we can, there are a few more, but we don't go on top. So I think 420 something is where we go. But if you want, we can go by stairs. We can go by steps. But bhakti is like the ladder, which goes straight there and covers all of them. It doesn't leave anything. And we will see some examples for that as well. So that's the thing. If you will see Krishna, we will see. If you see the person, we will see the torch and the light. By just that, the torch is right in front of us. We are so much consumed by that light that we can't see the face of the person. Similar thing, we get so absorbed by the Brahman realization because it's bliss. It is. Well, it's a bliss, not Ananda, but as I said, Satta, because it's eternal, right? And eternal is actually not the bliss, not the Ananda bliss. What it is, no, it's because it's the Satta element of Satchit Ananda. It's the absence of the material miseries. So we have the Adhyatmic, which happens from our body and mind, the miseries. Then we have Adi Bhautik, miseries from someone else, anyone else, maybe in our relatives, maybe from the friends, maybe from the colleagues, maybe in the office, but somebody else from outside our body and mind. That Adi Bhautik. So Adhyatmic, my own body and mind could do. Adi Bhautik, somebody else can give. Adi Devik, the natural disasters from demigods. So these three miseries are absent in Brahman realization. So the Gyanis who are situated there, they don't feel, they transcend themselves beyond these three miseries. Hence they feel bliss. But this bliss is not the bliss where you see the Bhagwan. So there's a difference in that, right? So it's the, like we said it before, somebody's in pain and now got the medicines, paracetamol, and now the pain is not there. And somebody say, do you have pain? And the person say, no, I'm okay. I don't have pain. Right? But that doesn't mean the person is happy. Person is just lacking the pain. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji. Hari Bol. Prabhuji unmuted himself, so I thought Prabhuji might would like to add something. All right, we will see, maybe in a bit. So we will see some of the references from Bhagavad Gita, Sankhya, Jnana, Yoga, and how Bhakti. So I might have to stop sharing this, and I will start sharing another slide where we have. Okay, 1 second. So we have some of those references where we can see how we understand Bhagavad Gita. So when we read Bhagavad Gita, we can understand that this is where we need to hear. So interesting. I don't see that window in here. Why not? Is this okay? Yeah, because another thing is open. Hare Krishna. So let's check this. All right, this is the verse we will see hopefully today. But if we see on the top, I have, so this is Veda base, and I will share this link in the chat. Those who are on YouTube, you can check that as well, vedabase.io. Or interesting enough, I think my screen is visible. Yes, it is visible. Thank you. So if I just type here, for example, BG, what we said 262, did we mention that? 262, we will see the voice straight away, Vedabase will come in. Maybe because I search in Vedabase, that's the top one, but Bhagavad Gita and then any verse number automatically Vedabase will be on the top. So I've made some groupings based on Sankhya, Jnana, Yoga, and then Karma. And then if we see those verses, well, what we could do, we could quickly go back as well. I think there's another slide for that as well here. So what we have here, we're back here in the slides where we see Sankhya, Jnana, Yoga, and if you go to the next slide, we see all the verses are there. And these verses, these references are given by Chaitanya Charan Prabhuji. The how we can understand each one of them. So now, as I said, these slides are available. If anybody would like to use it, I usually share it. If not, feel free to let me know. I'm more than happy to share it. The only thing I have done is I've compiled this from different presentations from different devotees. That's it. So similar thing, Prabhuji has given the verses and I have just organized in different groups. So Sankhya, if you see the verse, so there are a couple of verses there. So verse 4, verse 5, if we see the verse itself. So remember, this is Sankhya. So this is chapter 7, right? Chapter 7 is right at the right after chapter 6. Chapter 6 is where Ashtanga Yoga has been explained, right? And it's also called Dhyana Yoga because in Ashtanga Yoga, remember, Dhyana is one of the main element. After Dhyana, we get into Samadhi. So somebody went on to Himalayas and said to someone else, like another senior, said, could you please help me in Samadhi? I would like to get to the Samadhi state. Remember, it's a state, as has been mentioned, the consciousness we need to improve. And the sadhu said, oh, Samadhi is very simple. Samadhi is very simple. The only requirement is purified consciousness, pure consciousness. Whole Upanishads, all the Upanishads, all the verses, the whole purpose is to purify our consciousness. What Srila Prabhupada ji said before we become, remember, ISKCON, International Society of Krishna Consciousness. Prabhupada ji said before we become Krishna consciousness, we need to be conscious. And before we become conscious, we need to be aware. And this is what that sadhu said in Himalayas. So the person shared in the book and said that sadhu said, Samadhi is simple. The only requirement is a purified consciousness. In Hindi, चित्त. तो जब उन्होंने पूछा कि समाधि लगवा दीजिए बस आप हमारी, तो साधु ने कहा, अरे समाधि बहुत सिंपल, बहुत सरल, बस इतना चाहिए कि आपका चित्त निर्मल होना चाहिए, सिर्फ इतना. That's it. What does that mean? There should not be any material impurities, and we all are unfortunately full of that. So what it says in Sankhya, that we understand of ourselves: earth, water, fire, air, ether, what we call Panch Bhut. Bhut again from material, so our body is made up of that. This is the gross body. And then going forward, mind, intelligence, and false ego. So this is what we call Kama, Mano, Buddhi, Evacha. So we always say the subtle body is made up of these three elements. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse 4, gives that to us. Right? Panchabhuta are given, and three parts of our subtle body: mind, intelligence, and ego. Ego is a false ego because the true identity of the ego will be what we are. If you understand what we are, we are. So if I remember what my name is, that's a true ego. Like I know what I am. But of course, people think ego is basically identity. Hence, if you have true identity, that's true ego. And if you have false ego, then it's a true identity. And most of the time we are into false ego, we are in a wrong identity because we think we are the owner. We are the owner of the house. That house used to belong to someone else. One day it will belong to someone else. Right? The car, sometimes husband and wife, the children we try to, parents gets old, we try to become the owner of everyone. But we should not. We should not. We are dasanu dasa. We are the servants of servants of servants of servants of Krishna. So we should be in that state. Hence, when Srila Prabhupada ji gave everybody's name, VP Govinda Dasa. Dasa. And that's what we should be. Then the ego gets purified. Right? Intelligence, so mind is in between intelligence. When we read, we study, we do a lot of things, and we will see Navvidya Bhakti today, hopefully, which Prahlad Maharaj explained in Bhagavatam. Then intelligence gets very, very, very high intellect. And then mind is in between. Mind goes toward the false ego. False ego said, come, let's watch Netflix movie, for example. And the mind will be, okay, let's go. Mind will include all the Gyan Indriya, Karma Indriya, the hands and the legs and the eyes and the ears will just get into what will false ego say. And then intelligence will kick in and say, what are you doing? Don't you know what Prahlad Maharaj said? That one day we are going to leave the body. So when Prahlad Maharaj shared Navidya Bhakti, but the friend said, are you crazy? We are young. Come, let's chill out. Well, they must have said something else. In Bhagavatam, there's a mention, they basically said, let's play out. We are too young for all that. And Prahlad Maharaj replied, at 5 years old, how do you know we are too young? How do you know how old we're going to die? Because anyone could die at any moment. Hence, that's the intelligence. Intelligence bring back the mind. Do you want to waste your time in all this? Or do you want to purify your mind? Would you like to do a bit of chanting so you can engage your senses? That's altogether these 8 constitutes the, remember, material energies. Material. So we still consider all of that material. And then the 5 is there besides these. So remember, we are going forward and forward. So there are a lot of those things which we can understand if we get further. And this has been explained as we could. What we could do it? We can say, besides these almighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind, which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material, inferior nature. So Krishna explains, aprayam itastanyam prakritim, aprayam itastanyam prakritim vidit me param jiva bhuta mahamayo yayadam dharate jagat. So what Krishna is saying, that they, of course, inferior nature and superior nature. So understand where your body is, understand your gross body, subtle body, but there is something beyond that which we need to understand. What is that? But all created beings have their sources in 2 natures. Of all these material, all that is spiritual in this world. So material and spiritual being differentiated. Know for certain, aham Krishna's. Know for certain that I am both the origin and dissolution. So Krishna actually explains, I'm the origin. So Brahmaji is the originator, but I am the originator. Shivji dissolved, but I am the one who helps him to dissolve. So Krishna is the source of everything. And the last verse in the series, 4, 5, 6, 7 was Sankhya, but 18.55 is also there. That Matapadam Dhanya, O conqueror of wealth. Remember, whatever we want, what do we want to do? We just want to get the wealth. Hare Krishna, Mataji, please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. There's just something to clarify. There's a superior energy and a superior being. Is it a superior? Because Krishna has 3 energies, isn't it? Superior, inferior, and marginal. But here it says that
Yes.
superior are the living entities, another energy of mind. So
Yes.
I'm a bit confused
Well,
between the energies and the living entities. I think they are
that's right, Mataji. Yes, I think it's the loose translation of energies, because those 3, they are different, and these 2 are different.
Yes, that's what I thought. Yes.
Yes,
Thank you.
that classification and this classification is different,
Yeah.
and it's a bit hard. And Srila Prabhupada, actually, in our Upanishads, it's been mentioned a lot. But Srila Prabhupada also said a few ways. What's been said? It said, and this is what in Katha Upanishad, when Nachiketa reached to the death, he went to Yamraj because his father sent him there. And he waited for 3 days. And when the Yamraj came back, he said, because you waited for me 3 days, I'm going to give you 3 boons. And then he asked one thing for his family, one thing for the society, one thing, the last thing he said, tell me what happens after death. Tell me what is the absolute truth. And the very first thing what Yamraj said, Yamraj, of course, tried to defy. He said, no, ask something else, but I will give you this. And then he said, no. Everything, all that is material. I don't want that. Remember that this is a boy as well. This is a young child. And then he said, I just want to know about the absolute. And the very first thing Yamraj said, that it's not that I don't want to, but it's almost impossible to explain in words. It's hard for me to explain it in words. And a lot of times in Upanishads it's been mentioned. There is another example. In Upanishad, there is a story of Utkala, and his father sent him somewhere for the studies, like in Gurukul. He went there for 10 years. He came back, learned and everything. A great learned guy. When he came back, his father said just one thing. Well, his father asked, have you learned everything? He said, yes. And I have the certificates, I have the gold medalist. Father asked, have you learned after which nothing else remains to be learned? Have you learned which cannot be explained in words? And he said, what cannot be explained in words? And he said, no, I haven't learned that. He said, well, what's the point then? Go back. He went back. He went back to his guru. Remember, he was there for 10 years. After 10 years, he came back and his father just sent him back. But he went back. He asked his guru, and his guru said, very first thing that glorified his father, that he sent you back, and then said, well, it cannot be expressed in words. How will? Or what he said, take these 100 cows, go in the jungle, and come back when you know the truth. Because I cannot explain you, but I can give you the processes. And all our scriptures, they have just given the processes. But it's hard to explain. There are so many gurus who came, and they all said that we can only indicate towards that, but we cannot explain it because the words are not good enough to explain it. Number of places, and the number of ways it's been expressed, like in Bhagavatam, it's been said that Sheshanaga, he got 1,000 of heads, and he can narrate the glorification for million of years for Krishna, but still cannot complete the glorifications, which meant that in words we can never. So thank you for that question, Mataji. But you're so right. That's the significance. Why do we need the purpose from the Srila Prabhupada and all other acharyas? Because the words are so confusing. Especially remember so many years back, it's such a poetry that Krishna said it, Arjuna understood. And of course, Arjuna asked the follow-up questions. But for us, it's hard. It's very hard. And we won't understand until unless either we are in the association of devotees and we do these discussions. So thank you so much for asking that one.
Yeah, you explained very nicely, Prabhuji. That's why you
Hari.
know so much, and you are one of my Diksha Gurus, Siksha Guru, Prabhuji.
Siksha Guru. Yes, Mataji. Each one of us can help each other to progress, and that's what we do. When we come to these gatherings, we help each other to get a bit better progress towards the spiritual journey. So thank you so much, Mataji. So this is from chapter 7, 4, 5, 6, 7. And feel free, take your time during the week, read through these because the purports are also there. But 7 doesn't have purpose, but the whole chapter we can go through. But moving on to 1855. So this is a beautiful verse as well. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yachashmi tatvata tato mam tatuto kyatva vishte tadantaratmana. And beautiful verse which says, one can understand me as I am. One can understand me as I am. And remember, this is what at the end of Shri Isopanisad, this is what devotees are praying to Krishna, that we would like to understand you. The prayer is to understand you. That one can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as Krishna, not the effulgence, only by devotional service. So, only by Bhaktya Mama Vijanati. Who can understand Bhaktya? Not the one who does the Sankhya, not the Jnana, not the Ashtanga Yoga, not the Dhyan Yoga, not the Raj Yoga, but the Bhaktya Mama Vijanati. Who can understand? Bhaktya can understand me. And when one is in full consciousness of me by such devotion. So the devotional, it says bhaktya. The bhaktya is the devotional services. It's a process. It's the practices we follow. Up until when? For how long we need to practice? till one is in full consciousness of me. How? By such devotion. So Srila Prabhupada ji has given us the so many book distribution, the Mangala Aarti and the Guru Puja, and these sessions, study Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Shri Chaitanya Charita. Why? These all are the devotion. What will happen with this? We need to become full consciousness of Krishna. Hence, International Society of Krishna Consciousness. Why? He can enter into the kingdom of God. And then, of course, there are following verses where Krishna says, Mad Katyantar Atmana. The one who has come to mind, kingdom will never fall down. So this is what we need to understand. So the process is simple. We need to follow the process up until when, till we improve and we purify our consciousness. And remember, this is the process. This is what we need to follow. This is Sankhya. So Sankhya is explained chapter 7, 4, 5, 6, 7 verse, but then 1855 explains this even further. And then if we move on towards the Jnana, one of the words, so again, a lot of meditation has been explained in chapter 6, then 7 starts, and then Bahunam Janmana Ante Gyatva Mam Prapadante Vasudeva Sarvam Iti Sa Maha Atma Sudurlabam. So what's it been saying? Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanvam Prapadante. So after, and if we see the verse, after many, many, many births and deaths, birth and death, vicious circle of birth and death, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me. Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 verse 7. So what does it say? Karpanye dosho patasabhava pachami dvam dharma samuracheta. Arjun says, I surrender unto you. This is what Krishna says. After many, many, many births, who surrender unto me, knowing me to the cause of all causes. And that's it. Such a great is. So this is says, Sa Mahatma, so Durlabha. So it's very, very, very rare, and that person should be considered as Mahatma. So we acquired so much Sukriti that we take time every Saturday morning to hear this katha. So we should be we have definitely done a lot of, but this is what the Jnani, out of all the Jnanis, this is what is priya to Krishna. And then chapter 6, if you go, chapter 6 verse 16, there is no possibility of one becoming a yogi. Oh Arjuna, if one eats too much, too little, sleeps too much, or does not sleep enough. So there are a lot of things we mentioned there. Yukta Vairagya, Yukta Che. So it's Yukta is the proper way of doing it. And it's been mentioned. So this is the yogi way of doing it. Remember, we have seen Sankhya, materially understand, Jnana, through the knowledge. But now the yogi, the Ashtang yogi, what we should do. And this is what yogis do. And we are in Grast and we could do the same. We could see one who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreational, and work. So remember, we should be working because we are Grast, but not overworking. We should be some leisure time. We could watch movies if we want, if we cannot stay without it, but there should be a limit. Sleeping and eating, of course, we need it. Our body needs it, but we need to regulate it. And then we can practice the yoga system. This is just the prerequisite, I say, before we reach to the level. And then what it says, the beautiful verse, chapter 6:47. After explaining all that, Krishna says, remember, Ashtang Yoga has been explained in chapter 6, all about the yoga. But then right at the end, Krishna says in 6.47, Yogi namapi sarvesham matkatyantar atmana shraddhavan bhajate yo mam same yukta tamamita. Somebody said that Krishna is so humble that Krishna is saying, Same Yukta Tamamata. In my opinion, that person is the best. Krishna is the supreme personality, causes of all the causes, and said, well, see, this is, if you like to, and a lot of senior devotees, sometimes Guru Maharaj also said it. Guru Maharaj will say something to someone, but the person is not ready. And Guru Maharaj will become a bit lenient. Okay, that's okay. It's all right. This is my opinion. You might not be ready. It's okay if I'm not forcing you to do it. Srila Prabhupada did the same thing, not forcing. According to me, this should be happen. If you can't do it, it's okay. Do whatever you can. Yogi namapi sarvesham. So which yogi? And now of all the yogis, after explaining all the yoga in chapter 6, Krishna says, and of all the yogis, the one with great faith. Remember, the faith is required. And this is the bhakti. A lot of people, they test and reach to that faith and trust. Bhakta, put the faith and then everything, like what Guru Maharaj Ji said, Radhana Swamiji Maharaj said, what are you testing? Don't you have a faith? And this is, he's a yogi, one who with great faith, who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself. Because external world, remember, the Brahman realization will start from us. The very first thing we need to realize, Krishna is within us. And so we need to understand that. Shiro Dakshaya Vishnu is there in us, like Chaitya Guru, and renders transcendental loving service to me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. This is my opinion. That is my opinion. Same yukto tamamata. So out of all, this is the best, right? So we just need to have faith in Krishna. But of course, the faith comes slowly, gradually, the way we spend our time with Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. So the last one in this, which is now we are in chapter 3, Karma Yoga. So this is karma. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material. O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duty for his satisfaction. So whenever we do the work, we should do, not because we want to earn money, not because we want to have prestige, because that's what we are supposed to do. So then the Karma Yoga will become Nishkam Karma Yoga, like our duty, not that, oh, we have to go to office again. So this has been explained here in 3.9. Beautiful words, how the karma could become worship. And then 3.30, after that, which is, this is another beautiful verse where, therefore, Arjuna, surrendering all your work upon me with full knowledge of me, without desire for profit, with no claims to proprietorship, and free from lethargy. So devotees are always active, very active, right? Not that, oh, we don't do in material world, we just want to chant. No, chanting is the part, but we do the karma yoga. So when we sit in the chanting, then we can have a purified mind. So it's a beautiful verses, and maybe I will share this. There's another. We will see Navvidya Bhakti next, and there's another beautiful slide on that as well. But I will share the slide which mentions all these references. And if you get time, please study those. And maybe next time we will do, if it will be great if you could share your realization from those verses. And obviously you could read nearby as well to have the whole context. But thank you so much for your presence. Thank you so much to allowing me to serve you. I look for your association next week at the same time. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Very
Hare
much.
Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Jai Shri Radhe Shyam. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams to everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna. Hare Hare Bol. Hare Krishna.